finally come back and get in the cage, I'm going to punch his face in. But for now, when I win this belt, I am the champ, you know what I mean? While he's out the cage, I'm the lightweight champ. It's very small compared to me, you know what I mean? He's up to like here, he's not that wide. You've definitely seen that video of him and Pantoja just stood next to each other and they look the same weight.
And I hope Paddy is gonna lose, because if Paddy wins, it's gonna be a problem for me again.
Why do you think so?
I think he's gonna try and avoid me.
You say if he wins against Justin or if he wins against Ilia?
No, against Justin. Against Ilia, he never can beat Ilia.
Okay.
No way.
So you think if Paddy wins the interim belt, he'll try not to fight you?
Yeah. UFC gotta push him probably.
Really?
The build to this fight feels electric because the interim title is being treated like the real crown, with the focus locked on immediate violence, future grudges, and the belief that whoever wins now controls the division while the absent champion watches from the sidelines, creating a dangerous mix of confidence, impatience, and territorial energy that makes every word sound like a promise rather than promotion.
No, I wasn't too surprised. I know Ilia's going through a lot of stuff and wish him nothing but the best with it, know what I mean? That's nothing to do with us fighting, it's nothing to do with being in the cage. So all that around his family life, I hope everything goes perfect for him. But when he does finally come back and get in the cage, I'm going to punch his face in. But for now, when I win this belt, I am the champ, know what I mean? While he's out the cage, I'm the lightweight champ. And that's the way I see it.
So that interim belt to you will feel undisputed?
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
The narrative keeps circling back to unfinished business, with the interim contender already visualizing the champion's return as a collision rather than a negotiation, framing the storyline as simple and brutal: win the belt now, hold the throne publicly, and make the eventual comeback feel hostile, rushed, and punishing, instead of respectful or ceremonial.
He could end up in serious trouble.
You've got his support. Essentially, he wants you to win. He wants that fight. Have you allowed yourself to think of what a fight with Ilia looks like?
Yeah, I think I beat him up as well, you know what I mean? Like, he's very small compared to me, you know what I mean? He's up to like here, he's not that wide. You've definitely seen that video of him and Pantoja just stood next to each other and they look the same weight. So, like, there's weight classes for a reason. And if he wants to fight me at 155, it'll get seriously messy on his face.
Size becomes a recurring theme in this saga, with repeated emphasis on physical dimensions, weight classes, and visual comparisons meant to plant doubt in fans' minds, selling the idea that the returning champion would be stepping into unfamiliar danger, not just against skill, but against mass, strength, and a division that punishes anyone who ignores its boundaries.
And that urge to return fast can sometimes work against them.
Cool prediction to have, and that is Ilia comes back, but the bolder prediction is he loses. He comes back too soon, still dealing with all this bullshit, and ends up losing because he's not in the right headspace. But I think Ilia's a smart guy. That's why I'm, kind of on the fence about this prediction a little bit, right? I'm not saying like, I really believe his prediction or anything. But man, fighters don't like not fighting. They don't like sitting on the sidelines.
At the same time, another layer of tension is added by whispers that personal turmoil could derail a comeback, raising the uncomfortable question of whether mental readiness matters more than physical health, and whether the hunger to compete might overpower good judgment when pride and pressure start screaming louder than patience.
Feels realistic given the circumstances.
I can speak from my own experience. Every time I got injured and someone wants to watch a UFC card, it's hard to watch. You can't sit there and watch it. You want to be the guy in there. You want to be the one that people are watching. And I think he's going to have that. He's healthy. He's not, it's obviously he's dealing with some pretty heavy shit, but he's healthy. He wants to come back and compete and fight. And I think he'll end up breaking to that, and he'll end up coming back. But it's not going to be a good time, and he's going to be dealing with shit. And that's kind of two bold predictions, to be honest. So
this perspective is reinforced by veteran insight, reminding everyone how unbearable it is for fighters to sit out while others take the spotlight, explaining how the urge to return can quietly sabotage preparation, timing, and focus, especially when unresolved life stress follows you into training instead of staying outside the gym doors.
Willing to face tough challenges.
Yeah, he wants me to get hurt because I'm not gonna fight him. I'm a nightmare for him, and he knows that if we're gonna fight, he's gonna lose, and he's gonna try not to fight me on his whole life. and I hope Justin Gage is gonna knock him out and send him back to England, and he can eat his I don't know what he's eating there, chicken or whatever.
Meanwhile, the contender hierarchy below the title adds gasoline to the fire, with rivals openly rooting for specific outcomes not out of fandom but self-interest, calculating paths, dodging stylistic nightmares, and openly accusing others of avoidance, fear, and selective matchmaking that could freeze careers or fast-track them overnight.
These pictures showed up last week of like a thing on his neck. Did you inquire about it? Did you?
No, if something real happened, never gonna post. They never post like this thing.
Sure.
Yeah,
But sometimes there's like a staph infection, and the internet.
but
finds
everybody's fighting with staph infection.
Sure.
So.
But if they called you, let's just say hypothetically today, to fight on that card, could you do it?
I'm here because of that.
You're here to wait.
Yeah.
But you're not a backup fighter. You're not going to weigh in and all this.
No, because I did on the June and nothing happened. Just a waste of my energy.
In this chaos, questions about health scares and rumored infections barely register, dismissed as routine background noise in a sport where damage is normalized. Secrecy is strategic, and fighters are expected to show up regardless, reinforcing the idea that opportunity matters more than comfort or caution.
It was a pullout.
You think that was the turning point?
Yeah.
You think that made you popular?
Yeah, I was popular when I pulled out.
Why? People were talking about you.
Yeah, because it was a big fight. When I pulled out, they started talking about someone started support me, someone started hate me, and then from that I started getting bigger, and then I went to the Hamzat's camp. It helped me too with Hamzat, and
how did that happen?
We just became friends.
Okay.
Yeah, from Thailand, and then we started training together, and then I invited to come to LA to prepare for the UFC fight for the belt. So he came, he liked it, and he stayed there. We won the belt. So now I'm looking for his fight. To help him and to be close to him.
A career turning point is highlighted through a controversial withdrawal that unexpectedly boosted visibility, proving that even setbacks can create momentum, attention, and reinvention, especially when followed by the right alliances, the right training environments, and a renewed sense of purpose inside elite camps.
Because I don't cut weight.
Yeah.
If I lose, okay, I lose. I don't care.
Right.
But
you do have an ego, right? You want to be successful.
But it's not my sport, you know.
Yeah.
If I lose in the freestyle wrestling, it's okay, you know. But UFC, it's I locked in before 2 months.
Right.
And I think about that fight all day because that's sport that I live for, you know.
Right.
And it's my goal to be UFC champion, and I treat my training camp myself is different, you know. But in the wrestling, you don't get hurt, you know, and it's easier to wrestle, you know, for me. But MMA is hard, and pressure, media, and like if you lose, you're done, you know. Like everybody's waiting when you lose.
Right.
That's why you wanna be at the best.
The contrast between competition formats sharpens the narrative further, as wrestling is framed as low-risk experimentation while cage fighting is described as obsession, pressure, and identity, where months of mental lockdown precede minutes of violence, and a single loss can flip public perception from contender to afterthought.
We see him weigh in 2 weeks as a backup fighter for UFC 324. What's his situation?
Can we please forgive him? Whatever he did to get himself in this weird purgatory, can we also remember that he agreed to be a backup fighter, that he did a training camp, that he flew out to Las Vegas, he went through the commission, he made weight, he was ready to go in on a moment's notice. You get something for that. I want him to get something. I want him recognized. I forgive Arman Sarukian. I want other people to forgive.
Despite the dedication, politics loom large, with doubts about favor, forgiveness, and promotional standing, until a respected voice steps in to argue that sacrifice, preparation, and readiness deserve recognition, pushing the idea that accountability should include redemption when effort is undeniable.
And expects to finish Gaethje within 3 rounds.
And he's made no secret that he wants to keep this on the feet. We know his knockout power, but your submission skills are so slick. You want to take it to the ground? Oh, okay.
I'll keep it on the feet with him. Like, there's the blueprint there to beat him. Max done it, and I everyone underestimates my strike, and everyone thinks I'm just gonna come in and I'm gonna take him down, and I'm not. Like, he had an absolute war with Chandler, and I Chandler up. So I know MMA math doesn't work, but you'll see come Jan 24th when we have a perfect game plan and we finish him within 3.
Strategic confidence escalates as striking plans are discussed, citing past performances as blueprints, dismissing conventional wisdom, and promising finishes within rounds rather than decisions, feeding fans a vision of calculated chaos built on belief that intelligence beats reputation every time.
You got a big challenge ahead of you first with Justin Gaethje. Were you a Justin Gaethje fan prior to any thought of fighting him?
I am a Justin Gaethje fan, not was, I am.
Yeah.
And anyone who is an MMA fan and isn't a Justin Gaethje fan isn't an MMA fan. Like, I always say, he's your favourite fighter's favourite fighter. He's one of my favourite fighters, one of the best fighters that you can watch. And the fact that I'm now getting in there against him is what dreams are made of.
Respect and admiration complicate the aggression, as praise for an opponent's legacy and violence-loving style coexist with the desire to defeat him, creating an emotional clash where childhood fandom collides with professional ambition, turning a dream matchup into a potential career-defining moment.
And when he says Scousers don't get knocked out, what do you say to that?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Have you allowed...
I will try to test that theory.
Have you allowed yourself to think ahead to, once you win, if you get the win, Ilia? No thoughts?
Nope, I've said it before, I don't ever plan on being alive after the fight, so if that's how it ends, that's how it ends.
On the opposite side, a veteran mindset emerges that refuses to look past the immediate war, describing tunnel vision so complete that future plans feel irrelevant, underscoring the idea that survival, pride, and execution in the present moment outweigh any belt, rivalry, or long-term storyline.
There's talk that, Justin Gaethje has good wrestling, he uses it very well defensively. Can you foresee him maybe being able to stuff your takedowns?
No.
No.
I don't wrestle like a normal person. I don't shoot double legs and single legs and wrestle like a normal person does. I do everything differently. I'm not normal. So he's not gonna be able to get a sparring partner in what grapples like me or strikes like me, because I'm a weirdo.
Fair enough.
It's the way it is, but
he did call your style awkward, actually.
I'm honest, Val, and I'm very awkward. You can't really get a sparring partner in to do me because I'm so awkward. So I'm looking forward to fighting him. As I say, he's a legend. He's someone I've always loved watching. So to get the chance to actually get in the cage and fight with him is unbelievable. Like, I can't wait, and to have Justin Gaethje on my resume is going to be something that'll last forever. Know what I mean? It'll be part of my legacy, and I'm looking forward to it. I just hope he doesn't retire once I beat him.
The psychological edge is pushed further through claims of unorthodox movement and awkward rhythm, selling an identity built on unpredictability, the belief that imitation is impossible, preparation is flawed, and uniqueness itself becomes a weapon that destabilizes even the most experienced opponents.
Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway for the BMF belt, a belt that you've held before. What do you think of that matchup?
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah. I hope Max wins. I hope Ilia goes up, and then I can fight Max on the White House card and take the BMF belt and the championship.
Oh, there you go.
Finally, the wider landscape opens with shifting ambitions, potential weight changes, alternative titles, and long-term career reflections, as fighters balance legacy, opportunity, and family priorities, leaving fans with the sense that every result will ripple outward, reshaping timelines, divisions, and destinies in unpredictable ways.
But you know what the weird thing is? What if Ilia comes back in the summertime, right? And now you've got an interim champion, and usually the interim champion will fight the actual champion. You're neither of those. That means we're talking about another fight happening, and you're not fighting for the belt, and now we're talking about the back end of the year.
Yeah, but maybe BMF title.
Okay.
So we'll see.
You don't want that, right? You want the real title.
Yeah, I want a real title, but I don't want to wait until the end of the next year. And then Ilia, he fights once a year. Maybe he defend his title in June and then say, okay, I'll fight next year in June. And then what I can do, just stay. And I'm not that young to wait a lot too. So if they give me BMF title, it would be great too. If Charles Oliveira wins, so it's gonna be good. We got the story, and just get that belt, and then the real belt.
Which is why it struck a nerve.
There was rumor that you'd said if you didn't get a title shot next that you might retire. Was there any truth to that? And if so, is giving you this interim title shot kind of said, okay, I feel like I'm getting what I deserve now?
Well, I definitely, I got what I asked for. It was more my manager put me in that, but I mean, I probably said it, but it was, we're emotional beings, you know, and we're petty. You don't get to where I'm at or where these fighters are at without being petty. I take things personal, and I thought I had earned something, and so I was trying to stand up.